Today, we focus on two of the absolute best hitters and all-around athletes in New Jersey who just happen to be best friends committed to the same Ivy League school. Schalick's Jarrett Pokrovsky hit a ridiculous .613 last year with an on-base percentage over 700 and is viewed by many as the best pure hitter in South Jersey, while Ryan Taylor tears it up for St. Augustine. A second-team All-State selection, Ryan runs a laser-timed .6360 and has some pop as well. They'll both be taking their talents across the river in the fall of 2022 to the University of Pennsylvania, and they join us today as we look at New Jersey's Generation Next. We got some of the outstanding high school baseball players in the state, and talking to them about their career, their journey, and where they're headed in the future. And we've got a kind of unique show here in that we're talking to a couple of guys who are staying local, staying D1, playing in the Big Five, playing in Philadelphia, and that's Ryan Taylor from St. Augustine and Jarrett Pokrovsky, who is from Schalick High School, both down in South Jersey. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So this is kind of cool because you guys are obviously good friends, both from South Jersey, both staying local, both going to Penn, both ready to win the Ivy League 3 or 4 times while you're there, go to the NCAA tournament. So tell us about your recruiting. The process, was Penn always, how did Penn factor in? And at what point did you two guys kind of realize you were both headed to the same place?
You want to start? You got it. You can start.
All right. So my brother, he got recruited by Seton Hall. So Seton Hall has always been on my radar. And then it wasn't until like my sophomore year, we were down in Georgia, and they called me and they offered me first. It was a good bit of money too. And then I was talking to a school from South Carolina at that time. So then they came to watch me in Georgia because it was kind of close. And then they ended up offering me at the same time. It wasn't until later on that Penn got on my radar, and Penn was like a late offer. It was like a last minute offer. I was set on this South Carolina school because they offered me a lot more money than Seton Hall did. And then Penn came along, and then I heard that Ryan got offered by Penn too. So when he got offered, we were talking obviously, and he was like, he kind of peer pressured me into it a little bit. So I went on the visit with him, and I just love the school. So it was like last minute kind of commitment. And then he committed the day before I did. And then when he committed, it was kind of like a set deal. Cause who doesn't want to go to school with their best friend,
Who doesn't want to go to school with Ryan Taylor? I agree. Right. So how did it go for you, Ryan? Was that always, when did they come into play?
So it started out, the first school that hit me up was Columbia. I talked to their coach for a while. They offered and everything. Then it was a bunch of little D1 schools. Then there was a couple bigger ones like West Virginia and Duke that I really wanted to go to Duke, but they actually never offered me. So then UPenn came in, they offered, and I visited the school, and I never really thought about going to an Ivy League school, but I just fell in love with the campus, and I love all the coaches, and that's when I made the deal. And also right before that, I fractured my hip, so kind of had to make a decision quick before the schools pass up.
There's a pretty huge South Jersey connection then with the coaches, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, Coach Yurkow's South Jersey, Coach Brooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of neat to get the chance to play, at a really cool field, a really, really nice stadium, for a South Jersey guy at an Ivy League school, right? There's no reason to pass that up.
No, definitely not.
With your best friend too.
Yeah.
So you guys were
always close to home.
Yeah, at close to home. Well, you guys were always close then, right? I don't know about all.
I knew him, but we weren't really close until we started playing for the same travel team, local team, Heavy Hitters. It's right down the road from both of us. Okay. So it wasn't until freshman year when we started getting close with each other. So right when the process started, the college process.
Oh, nice.
We started lifting together every day, hitting, just because we both have so much in common. So why not?
He taught you to lift and you taught him to run. Is that what we're
I
saying?
taught him how to like hit, field, and everything too.
If you had to give the scouting report on Jarrett, other than you taught him how to play, pretty much, right? How would you describe him to somebody who hasn't seen him play yet?
He's a great like athlete. He actually moves really well for his size. Like, he's one of the best base runners I've ever seen. Like, even he runs like a 6'9", but he gets thrown out like rarely. He's really consistent, and like he never like slacks around. He's just always giving all his all, basically.
Jarrett, what will you say about Ryan as a player too? Because he's somebody who can, he plays the infield in high school, plays the outfield in travel, pretty much nothing he can't do, right?
I mean, he's fast. I mean, if you're fast, you can play anywhere. Kid runs a 6'3". I don't know how you can throw him out. I don't ever seen him get thrown out. But when you mix that with his consistent hitting, I mean, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, 6'3" is that's where we're at right now, Ryan. We haven't gotten lower than that yet. You're still slacking.
I haven't ran it in like probably like 5 months. So I feel faster, but won't know until I do it again.
Have you gotten timed out of the box, to home to first?
Not off the top of my head. I definitely have. I just don't know the number.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, I mean, that's like, I'd be like a 6'3", 30. So, I mean, 60 is just, that's crazy. It's just crazy speed. Jarrett, your brother, you mentioned, Stosh is at Seton Hall. In his graduating class, Harry Patton, who's at Monmouth, a couple years ahead of you in high school. What impact did the two of them have on you growing up, and kind of putting you in that frame of mind that, like, that you have that mindset of nothing's going to stop you?
Well, it's a small world because, from a small school like Schalick, it's a Group 1 school. There's only like 500 kids in it max, 600 max. So like you never really hear kids going like D1 out of there. You always hear like these small colleges that they go to or JUCO route. But I mean, having the two of them going to decent programs, D1 programs, right? When I'm a freshman going freshman year and they're seniors, it had a big impact because I was able to mimic my game after them, and they pushed me at practice and everything. And Harry always used to come over like Ryan does now. We just lift together, hit together, field together. So having them there constantly and them being best friends too. So it kind of like pushed me to be better. And I wanted to find that person like Harry, like Stosh had, because Harry was his boy and they're both going D1 together and working together. So I wanted to find that person for me too. It was just hard. What was that?
I was saying, you guys did it right though. You're going to the same place.
Yeah. It was just hard though. Like there's not many people that want to push themselves that far from a Group 1 school like Schalick. It's always just like other sports. Like our school's good at soccer, I think, but you never hear of baseball players. There was like one player. He went to LSU, but that was in like the 80s or 90s. So like you never really hear of that often. But having those two in the same grad class and me being a freshman, going to school with them and playing with them for 1 year really pushed me to be my best.
Definitely. Yeah. So Ryan, what do you guys do when you're not lifting and playing baseball? Or is that pretty much it?
We'll hang out on the weekends, like go get food together. We basically do everything together. It's basically everything.
So then I guess we don't have to ask if you guys are rooming together next year.
Yeah, we're in a room. Yeah.
Any other hobbies that you guys have, fishing or whatever, anything like that we wouldn't necessarily know about?
I fish every once in a while, not like consistently, but
yeah, I'm saying I fish a little.
Nothing really. Yeah.
You always been this fast? I mean, not 6'3", but you always been the fastest guy on the team as you kind of came along, or is that something?
Like basically, yeah. Like younger, like during middle school, we would have like races and stuff, like for like field day or whatever, and I would usually win. But yeah, basically.
You too, Jarrett, always been the fastest?
I can't say the same. Nah,
Nah,
nah.
I,
I had to work on my speed. I was from the start. I was like a 7'3" guy, but then having Harry, he's a fast guy too. He's like Ryan.
yeah.
I kind of learned off him and how to get faster and pushed me into the sixes. So it was good.
Could he give Ryan a race?
I think it'd be pretty close. Yeah.
It's pretty legit. Yeah, no, I agree. How do you feel? I mean, now looking ahead to this season, right? Completely different situation school-wise, right? You know, Jarrett at a Group 1, you know, team that's, you know, should be in contention, versus, you know, Ryan at St. Augustine. I mean, that's a powerhouse state, you know, non-public team that's, you know, in contention for a state title, you know, almost every year. What are your goals, each of you, for your senior year?
Jarrett.
Ryan, you go first this time.
Okay. First of all, like, we want to win state. Like, I'd rather like win state than do like amazing individual. I'd rather do decent. Obviously, I would want to do both, but like, obviously, I want to win state after losing last year. I want to like probably hit around like 450. Maybe put a couple out. It's not really my thing, but
Here now, you got to.
and probably around like 30 stolen bases. But like the most important thing, obviously, is like state championship.
Yeah, you guys lost in the finals last year, right?
Yeah, it is St. Joe Montvale.
Yeah, another crazy good program and team.
Mm-hmm.
Jarrett, for you?
I want to win a South Jersey title, let alone a state title. But South Jersey, my freshman year and junior year, the 2 years we played without COVID, we made it to South Jersey, but we lost both times. So hopefully a third time's a charm. But I want to say I have any individual goals, just because I just want to go out there and play and have fun with it and don't think too much. Like, I don't want to try to top the season I had last year. I just want to keep playing better, just get better every day. But the ultimate goal is South Jersey title. Hopefully we can win this third one. Something
I always thought was interesting about South Jersey is you got the Diamond Classic late in the year too. If you had the choice and you could only win one of the two, seems like a lot of guys would rather win the Diamond Classic. Is that fair to say?
Personally, I would rather win state, just because we just like we make it every year, and like the past couple of years we haven't really came out on top. But the Diamond Classic would be awesome too. They're like the two highest goals that our coach sets for us every year.
And I'm guessing for a Group 1 school, if they were to win that would be like ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like that's a goal for like smaller schools because they face like schools like prep and stuff. But I don't know. I haven't been in there, so
yeah, I was gonna say that seems like Group 4s and maybe some Group 3s, and it's that would just be a crazy end of your season if that were to happen. I don't know if that's a realistic thing, but so what are we working on in the off season? You know, I mean, obviously your games had pretty solid strengths. You know, you're going to a great school, great program, but you know, nobody. I mean, if you stay the same, you go backwards, basically, right? So
yeah.
So Jarrett, what are you working on? You know, your priorities between now and March. You know, beginning of March when school ball starts.
I'm just trying to get better. This summer, my summer was ended early because I broke my hamate bone, so I wasn't able to hit for a couple months. So just getting back to where I was and even better, staying consistent wise. But also I want to keep getting faster because I'm not the fastest guy. But
now you not being able to hit would be like regular people not being able to like breathe. So what did you do to pass the time?
It was my left hand, so I did top hand drills. So I kept swinging.
Yeah.
I just kept.
He would be swinging. I kept telling him to like take it easy for a few days, but he didn't. He never rested it.
He doesn't understand take it easy. That's
he
not
couldn't stop.
No, and certainly not that, right? We got to find a way to swing somehow.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you need to in your mind need to do to be ready to crush it in March, but also get ready for college baseball?
First of all, I want to gain weight. My goal is like 10 pounds. While staying faster. Like I know it's hard to do to gain weight and still get faster, but that's like my main goal. I just want to get stronger, and the last thing is just get my arms stronger and just work on fielding a lot more, basically.
And arm stronger, because I guess you get the feeling that outfield is probably going to be where you are in college, right?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. I just want to get it stronger, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So random questions, right? What's on your pregame playlist, and what's on your pregame playlist that most people wouldn't know? The kind of I don't want to call it guilty pleasure or whatever crazy song, but what's your pregame, playlist to get in the right frame of mind?
I'll go. I'm not like everybody else. Like I don't want to get hype or anything for a game. I listen to country music. I like staying calm before a game so I don't get all on my nerves. But that's pretty much ordinary. I mean, people would guess that too, because that's pretty much.
Yeah. So okay. So as expected for you, Ryan, what are we getting ready for the game with?
I'm like the complete opposite. I like rap. Like my two favorite are Lil Baby and Lil Durk. I just like them. Then during high school, our whole team loves Meek Mill. He just gets us hype and wakes us up and helps us get focused.
Got the South Jersey / Philly vibe to it too, I guess, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Breakfast cereal. We got to go to what is it? Or if not, what's our breakfast?
I'm not a big cereal guy, but I'll take an omelet or chocolate chip pancakes, basically either or. Depends on how I'm feeling that day when I wake up.
I don't eat cereal either. I'm a big egg guy.
It's just me eating tons of cereal for all three of us, I guess.
Yeah.
Explains why you guys are the players and I'm the old general manager kind of guy. If you could be D1 in any other sport, right, from anything, what would it be and why?
I wouldn't want to be D1 in basketball. I just think it'd be cool to dunk on somebody's head, catch a couple bodies.
Not a lot of D1 guys coming out of basketball from Schalick either, I have a feeling.
I only know 2. That's about it in all time.
Ryan?
Mine would have to be basketball too. I just feel like nobody really goes D1 in basketball. Like there is some, but I feel like it's one of the harder sports to get D1. Definitely.
Yeah. And be good, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Favorite professional team, regardless of sport?
The Broncos.
How did that even happen? Like,
my dad, like growing up, he liked John Elway, so I just kind of like the Broncos because he likes the Broncos when I was younger. But for baseball, I like the Braves. Doesn't really make sense, but
no, that's terrible. But they're up on the Brewers now. Well, of course, by the time this runs, that'll be long gone, so it's kind of pointless. But Jarrett, favorite team?
I like the Phillies. I like staying home.
It's a much more responsible answer than the Broncos and the Braves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We just have more misery. That's all.
Broncos haven't been too good lately either.
No, that's true. Not since the Super Bowls, really. It's been a while.
Yeah.
My bad. I have to charge my.
It's gonna run this as is, by the way. This is the true life of the student athlete here. One phone app you couldn't do without.
Instagram.
TikTok.
That's cool.
I passed a lot of boring times with TikTok.
Which is what Instagram's for too, I think, right? It's
I just like Instagram. Yeah. I like Instagram because it just keeps you up to date with everything, basically.
Last one for both of you. who's had the biggest impact on your career to this point, and how come?
My dad, he just like ever since I was little, he introduced me to the game, and since then and now, he just helps me with everything. Takes me to the field and stuff. He just helps me. Like whenever I'm struggling, he'll help me and fix it. Somehow he always fixes it. And he's always like there for me and stuff. Basically.
I'd have to say my big brother, just because I've always tried to be better than him, and everything I saw him do something, so I tried to compete with him. But also, he just pushed me to be who I am now because I went to school with him, so it was kind of easy to work together with everything we did.
Yeah, and you know, it'd be one thing, I guess, to try to compete with him and beat him if he didn't set such a high bar. But you know, you're going to be at that level. You're going to be pretty darn good, right? To even be at that level. So
That's the goal.
yeah, it's kind of neat to have that example set. Just you know, close enough to your age where you can kind of feel it and play with them a little bit. And excellent. No, I appreciate it, guys. Ryan Taylor, Jarrett Pokrovsky, we are fortunate that not only we'll be able to see you play this year and go after state titles and not have to compete against each other to do so, but you know, also the next 4 years rooming together and doing a lot of fun stuff in college and you know, shining in the Big Five, staying local. We are very excited and appreciate you guys taking the time today.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's Generation Next. Again, Ryan and Jarrett, Ryan Taylor, Jarrett Pokrovsky, we appreciate it and look forward to seeing you on the field.